Welcome in to the Go STR live stream. I am Sam Mastretta, your host for the next 15 spicy minutes in the Falaya Focus podcast studio, where we take a sneak peek behind the scenes look at professional Airbnb hosts from around the world that have had such great success. Their guests just keep coming back again and again. And today I am thrilled to have my good friend with me, Dave Menapace from Holliston, Massachusetts. Dave, how's it going, my man?
That's it. Good. And if anyone wants to know where Holliston is, it's right next to where the Boston Marathon starts. So about 26.2 miles west of Boston, and here I am. But things are good, man. Great to see you again.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, Dave. So I got to know, have you ever just walked out and jumped in the marathon or anything?
No, but my wife has.
Really?
My wife has twice, maybe 3 times she's done the Boston Marathon. They call it being a bandit runner. And essentially you just hop in with everyone else and go for it. You don't get a number, but you do get a pat on the back. And and you definitely get some street cred. So she's done it a few times now.
Well, she gets some street cred for me. I had no idea, man. Yeah, but speaking of running, man, you are running fast as always. You have so much going for you, man. So I guess what kind of got you into the whole short-term rental game, and kind of where has that led you to where you are now? Because most of the folks we talk to, they're just but they got into Airbnbs and they co-host other people's properties and they host their own. You do that, but you also do quite a bit more. So take us back a little bit, Dave.
Yeah. We'll keep it high level or else we'll be here till tomorrow. But, our journey started in 2019 when we bought a cottage in Cape Cod, which was an area we had been vacationing in for probably 11 years at that point. And, we were finishing up grad school, didn't have any kids yet. That was about 3 months away. And we bought this cottage, and it said in the listing that it was previously rented out as a short-term rental. And that was really our entrance into the industry. And, eventually that was what really piqued our interest in real estate, which led to doing some flips and some long-term rentals and really trying our hand out at a whole bunch of different things, from financing and investing and all sorts of cool stuff. But it all led back to buying another short-term rental a few years later, which, if we follow along in this timeline, we eventually learned about co-hosting and started co-hosting in Cape Cod, South Shore, Massachusetts, just south of Boston there, and then in several markets in Maine, where we also own the STR. Through that network, it opened up opportunities to writing 2 books, Hospitable Host 2, which we're really proud and excited about, as well as Creative: A Life of Abundance, Real Estate Investing with Your Spouse. Eventually coaching for STR Secrets, which you and I are both members of, and ultimately Beyond the 5-Star Co-host, which is our co-hosting business, starting the country's first short-term rental consulting business. And before I was doing this full time, I was in healthcare consulting and running a business there. So it's been really cool to see it all come full circle, and honestly, leading a life by design is what I like to say.
Absolutely, man. I love that. Like, who knew just getting into one Airbnb would lead to
a 482 square foot cottage is what started us on this track, and we still have that cottage today. I spend most of the summers there with the kids and with my wife, and honestly, we don't really rent it out much anymore because we use it so much, but that's really what we cut our teeth on. And it's the coolest thing. It's such a special journey, and we love sharing it with everyone.
Absolutely. And so maybe a little bit later, we can maybe take a sneak peek at some of your special properties. But what I'm really interested about is this consulting arm.
Yeah.
How this really developed, right? So how did that start? Can you take me back a little bit?
Totally. And I'll try and not make it too terribly technical, right? But when you're starting a business, and in this case, co-hosting, potential leads or potential clients fall into one of 2 categories. either they fit the criteria for what you want as a co-host or as a client, or they don't. But just because they don't fit the criteria of what you want or need or your model for your business doesn't mean there's not a way that you can still serve them. And to be honest, I found that I was leaving a lot on the table when it came to serving others. And just because somebody wasn't a good fit as a co-host for me didn't mean I couldn't help them. And what I started to find, and this started out right in 2023, is that I found there's this whole cohort of people that would get on a sales call with me. We call them a discovery call. And, they really didn't want to co-host. They might have just needed help with the technology implementation, or learning how to hire a cleaner, or understanding how to automate pieces of their business so it doesn't take too much time in their day. They didn't need to be paying me 20 to 30% to manage their property. And when I started identifying this, you want to be ethical in what you're selling to people, I started to realize I can still serve these people. I can still solve their problem. And not only that, my team in my co-hosting business can really help and help support me in that business as well. So this is how Launchpad Consulting was formed. And what's really neat is, and I'll also say, it doesn't always make sense for those types of owners to spend lots and lots of money on a mastermind, where like you and I see value in masterminds, but we're building businesses. It's not just one STR that we're buying, right? So in that consulting business, to keep it high level, we found an opportunity where we come in, we build out, we educate the owner before they ever go live on what it'll take to make that house come into alignment with their financial goals, whether it's design or amenities or setup or what have you. We'll make the industry connections to designers, to cleaners, to hot tub folks. We'll get them fully educated on everything. And then what we'll do is we build out their Airbnb VRBO listings, get them onto a property management tool. Usually we put them on Hospitable, build out their automations and their pricing, and help them go live. And then we support them for 3 or 4 months so they can really learn the ropes. And what we also learned was this was really beneficial for people that were buying for tax saving opportunities, but they needed to self-manage in order to recognize those tax benefits. So it was really, really neat, and it's really come full circle. And at this point, I think we have 15 or 16 consultants that actually work at that firm as well, which is really cool.
Wow, man, that is super impressive. So one way or the other, just helping folks.
Totally. Exactly. You have that. And then we have the co-hosting business, of course, which is a traditional property management business that one would think of as well. So that's what we got going on there.
Nice. So let me ask you, what type of person or investor do you help most? Like whenever it comes to either looking for consulting or either looking for help with managing their property turnkey, like what types of folks, what type of properties? I guess we're talking about the consultants, the consulting arm. What type of folks are you helping? Like what does that look like?
Well, it really depends. And honestly, the landscape in answer to that question has changed in the last 1.5 to 2 years. As a co-host, anyways, like going on that angle for a moment, a lot of our initial clients were folks that were buying to get a cash-on-cash return on their money. Over time, what I found was that as interest rates rose, those types of buyers slowed down considerably, at least in the markets that I'm in. They didn't turn off, but they definitely slowed down. And now we get a lot of folks that want to buy a really nice family home. Their kids are too young for them to get to enjoy it as much as they'd like to, or their kids are in high school and have sports all summer or all winter, or what have you. And they really want to just try and offset their expenses for the next 4 or 5 years, and then maybe they'll just use it themselves. On the consulting side, that is where I find we get, actually, it's probably 50-50. So it's probably like 80-20 now, 20% investors, 80% people that want a vacation home on the co-host side. On the investment side, it's about 50-50. Where some people, in order to hit their 10, 15, 20% cash on cash return, they need to self-manage, because giving it to a manager the math won't math. And then other times it's, somebody that's going to own the home and they're just really excited to take on a new venture or side hustle. And it just makes sense for them to do it themselves. And they don't want to spend 5-6 years gaining experience and learning the hard way, like a lot of us did when we got into the industry.
Exactly. And so that brings up an interesting question, kind of what's going on in the market right now. And I've kind of, I somewhat predicted this about 24 months ago, is whenever the market kind of started to shift a little bit. And, Airbnbs were sexy, right? They were the great thing to do. You could just, buy them, put anything out there, not really know how to manage them, and they would cash flow. Well, with that, I think people took advantage of that and didn't maybe underwrite a property or two that they purchased. They didn't know, that there were expenses and that their revenues had to cover. And so what are you seeing lately in the past, maybe even 6 to 12 months, with folks that you may be talking to that are like, look, I can't do it anymore. My property's not performing. It sounds like they may be looking for a consulting, or they may be looking for, complete property management. But are you seeing a lot of folks, are you having those conversations, I guess?
Totally. I am. It's really interesting. Properties that were historically really good short-term rental properties, well-performing, some of them don't make as much money as they used to. And it's really interesting. The conversation that I usually have, people usually want one of three things. Either they want some consulting so they can automate their business a little bit more and not be so in the weeds with every single thing with their property, while also having that sort of revenue management arm, revenue management adjustment to their business, influx of that into their business. And they also want to understand, a lot of the times the conversation is, hey, Dave, what can I add to my property? What can I do to my property to make it make more money? Because what I'm finding is homes that have been STRs the last few years, once they've been sold, they're staying STRs. The only difference is somebody's coming in with 50K, 20 to 50K, and they're making certain updates to get that revenue right back up. So usually a homeowner just sort of has to decide, is that investment right for me? Sometimes what we do have is folks that want a co-host. So it's not really a matter of their money, the home not making as much money anymore. Sometimes it is, and we can still make them more money even after our management fee. That happens quite a bit. But it's usually a time. Usually the pain is with time, and they're just kind of burnt out and they don't want to go the consulting route, or they're moving, or they're going to be traveling a lot, maybe out of the country, and they're just sort of at a point where they're just ready to hand over the steering wheel. And a lot of, and if we want, we can jump into some of those properties we manage. A lot of times people will see our website, 5strcohost.com, and they'll check out our properties and they'll say, oh man, mine is like right in line with some of these big high-end properties that Dave and his team manage. I want to be part of that, because as you know, like, I'm actually going to turn this into Go STR right here for a second. We have several thousand email addresses now, and we find a very similar guest clientele ends up booking all of these different homes. They come from the same areas, the same neighborhoods, fairly affluent, well-paying jobs. They don't mind splurging on their vacation, and people want a piece of that. And so it can go a few different ways. And it's interesting when I'm trying to market myself and what we do, because I never want to confuse anybody, but at the same time, we try and articulate that there's options.
Absolutely. Well, look, this is one of my favorite parts of the show, is like seeing your options. So if you wouldn't mind taking us on a little virtual tour of your booking website, where we can kind of see what some of the performers look like here.
Let's do it. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, go to the bottom for present, and then I will add this to
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. I am on it. I see
Awesome.
some colorful Adirondack chairs and
yes,
lovely interior design and outdoor spaces.
yes, you nailed it. Yeah, I'm going to show you a couple of really, really cool properties. The first one is Third Cliff Coastal Retreat. That's up here on the top left. We're going to click into it in a sec. This is a 5-bedroom home that's only about 30 minutes south of Boston. Now, that is an area in Boston itself is an area that has banned short-term rentals. And it's actually going through a little slideshow here. We really cater to a lot of these beachfront, waterfront homes that have good, amazing location, close proximity to activities, restaurants, things like that. This home right here does about $200,000 in revenue a year.
Wow.
Usually the nightly rates are anywhere between $500 and $1,300 a night, depending on the day of the week and the time of the year. But you can see big open concepts, sweeping views. Let's see if I go to, okay, photos here. I think I can just, on our direct site here, you can click through it. High-end appliances. You know, a lot of this stuff here is custom. Even that furniture is actually, it's from Italy, believe it or not. But it's really, really cool, you know, and this is a similar look and feel to a lot of the homes that we manage, whether it's up at Sunday River, which is the largest ski resort east of the Mississippi, or it's south of Boston here, or it's Cape Cod, you know, well-designed, well-furnished types of homes. That right there is a king bed. Right there you wake up and that's your view of the Atlantic. So just a fun property that, like, I always welcome the opportunity to go visit this home.
I bet. Wow,
let's see.
Fantastic.
Let's bring you on a few more, my man.
Yeah,
we have some really cool ones. I'm gonna show you next. Let's do Chalet 76. Chalet 76 is a 5-bedroom home. Wow. It's 4 minutes from Sunday River. And Sunday River is that really big ski resort I was telling you about, but it does really well year round. Now, Sunday River is actually 8 mountain peaks. It's not just one mountain. Oh, wow. It is huge. And this home is really the epitome of everything that you want in one of those homes. All of the furniture is custom. It's all made locally in the area. Wow. Lots of wood, leather couches, big open living room. You can't see it well, but this table here seats like 12 or 13 people. This home actually sleeps 16 comfortably across the 5 bedrooms. And it's just fun. Like, it's a fun house to go hang out at. And it really has the proximity. You see, like, the antler chandeliers up there.
Classic.
The coffee bars.
Views. Oh, man.
All the things.
Outstanding.
So this house has never gotten anything less than a 5-star review in the year and a half that we've been managing it. And it truly, like, it's got all the things. All the things. Walking into it, it is a wow type of experience. So it's one of my favorite houses. It's got, I think, a 12-person hot tub. The hot tub is massive. It was around $25,000. They have a ski lift chair, cool little game room in here. They're actually building an outdoor movie theater. It does well. It does well. So that's one of my favorite mountain homes. I think I got to show you Driftwood Beach Estate. We'll hit a few of these. I'm having fun right now.
Good, man. Hey, that's what we're about.
So when this says ultra luxury, I don't usually put the word luxury into a property title.
Right. It's tricky.
This, though, is ultra luxury. It's a 4-level home with views of Saco. This is Saco, Maine. So this is just south of Old Orchard Beach, which is up here. Only about an hour and a half north of Boston, and pretty much a private beach right here for you to go and enjoy. 3 living rooms, a home gym. It's a really, really, really special place. And, we did something cool for this house. It is a 6-bedroom home and even has a home office. We actually made the decision to only sleep 12 people here rather than the 14 to 16. And I will tell you, the rates range between 1,000 and 2,500 per night, depending on the time of year. And this isn't an HOA that requires 7-night minimum. So these are not cheap vacations.
Yeah.
But you're getting like the ultra best of what everything has to offer. And it's super, super amazing location. So this house just like consistently does really well, really, really well. Really amazing guests, really amazing area, really amazing home. It's a brand new home. It was bought just about a year ago, and the owners want to use it as a short-term rental and vacation there for a week or two each year. But it's truly special.
Fantastic. Great photos. I love the staging.
Thank you. This is one of my favorites, and it was really cool. The interior designer came back. She did the staging for it. Just a super, super special place.
Absolutely. That's gorgeous.
I got a couple more cool ones to show you, my man. I know we're going a little over time here.
Let's go.
Hillside Hideaway. Like so we actually manage, if you see my cursor here, Spruce Peak Chalet. There we go. Spruce Peak Chalet right back here, which has amazing views, and then Hillside Hideaway right here, which has amazing views. All of our houses in Maine have a hot tub. It's a requirement of our owners if we're going to take it on for management. But it has this really classic chalet feel, right? Big open great room, 4 beds, 3 baths, just like a really, really fantastic space. These homes sleep 12 people. There's seating for 12 around the table. Holidays are a blast. This house is about 15 minutes from Sunday River. But what's really cool is it has a straight shot view of Mount Abram right here as well, which is about a 10-minute drive away. And Mount Abram actually has world-class downhill mountain biking that people come from all over the country to go enjoy.
Oh, wow.
Just cool. Like it's a really fun one. It's a really, really cool house. And it's fun. Back out for a sec. It's really fun being able to manage Spruce Peak Chalet all at the same time. This house just has incredible views from it.
Absolutely.
And people can actually book both of them at the same time and have a group of up to 25 stay between the two.
Love it. I love it. So it feels like you really cater to larger group. Well, now besides your 420
so that's it. That was this was the house that started it all. This is where I did spend a lot of my summer. So at this point, if we do allow guests here next year, it's going to be direct booking only. I don't think I'm going to list it on Airbnb anymore. It is the one that started it all, but we're sort of at that point where we don't necessarily have to rent it, and we truly love using this home to be there and be in this special place of Cape Cod. But this house does pack a punch for a home that is 480 square feet or so and costs us $260K. It's now worth about 500,000, 525 maybe. Nice. And it still spins off, at least when we were renting it out full time, about 50K a year, which is pretty good return on that original investment.
Absolutely. Wow. So this is where it all started, Dave. And I know you're a big guy.
This is where the magic happened, my friend.
I love it.
You want to see our most unique property while we're at it?
I can't say no. I mean, how can I say no?
Awesome. I'm going to show you our main ski dome. This house is super cool. It was actually one of the original houses we began managing in the Sunday River market. And what's so cool is it's actually 2 domes that are connected. It's about 15 minutes from Sunday River. And what's so cool is that second dome is totally tricked out. It's got all these video games, a full-on bar, ping pong table, bubble hockey, a massive TV. It has these amazing views from the backyard. And when you walk in, this is sort of what you see. It's a 3-bedroom home. It's got like a really cool sleeping loft up there. And this too, it's very unique. A 65-inch TV. It's very, very unique. You're not going to find anything else like this in this market. And it has a following. Like, people are just enamored with this home. And what's funny is a lot of the locals that work on the home, whether it's the plumber or the handyman, they all remember when the home was built, and they all remember partying there in high school in the 80s. So, to be honest, it is the easiest. It's funny. It's a difficult home to find on the GPS if you've never been there, but it's the easiest home to find if you're a local, because everyone's been there. But, we really enjoy this home. It now has a cool outdoor shower. It has that hot tub. It's got a lot of land, a cool running stream out the back. And it's just fun and unique, but it still has a lot of the things that you want in a ski chalet, like a wood burning stove, a game room. And it really just has like a game house. It has the hot tub. It's on a good sound plot of land and acreage. And this home, I think we sleep about 11 guests at this home. And it's a fun one. It's a special home. And, at the end of the day, in our co-hosting business, our slogan is amazing vacation homes for everyone. And that means the guests all the way up to the owners, and as well as for the team. So, that manages it. I will say 90% of the homes we manage and own are all dog friendly too. That's a big thing in New England. And, we work hard to accommodate dogs to make it easier to host them in these homes as well.
Yeah, man, I love your portfolio, Dave. I didn't know about the dome home, man.
Yeah. Great. It's a fun one. It is fun. And we've actually been with this home now through several owners. And I'll leave us with this, and then we can get back to the show. But, another one, this one's in Scituate, Massachusetts, another beachfront home. This is really what we've started building the brand around, is these really cool, outside of Maine, has been these really, really cool beachfront homes where you can just wake up, have a glass of coffee, a cup of coffee, or at night have a glass of wine, hit the hot tub, be close to Boston. There's a train that goes from Scituate right into Boston. It's about 20 minutes to get, from Scituate to downtown Boston. And these houses just do great year round. People come, they want to visit colleges, they come for business, they want to fly their family in after. It's really, really cool, really, really fantastic. So,
yeah, just another one of your premier collections right here on the water. I love
it. Dude, it's the best. It's the best.
Man, well, Dave, where can guests find homes like this that we just saw?
Yeah.
If they're in the area or would like to be in the area now that they've seen what
totally. Yeah, that direct booking site is 5starvacationsrentals.com. You can also go to our co-hosting website, which is just the number 5, STR cohost.com. And what I always tell people is, like, if this is all starting to get a little too confusing and you're kind of interested in learning more about consulting, or just want to reach out to me and get on my calendar and kind of see what's up, or connect or network, I just tell everyone, go to davemenapace.com. From davemenapace.com, you can find our co-hosting website. You can find our consulting website. You can find the books that we've written. We have a podcast called Hassle Free RE. We're on year 3 of running that podcast. You can find that there as well. Anything you need, it can just filter it down to davemenapace.com.
Fantastic. So yeah, like I said, guys, Dave is he's moving, he's shaking, he's doing a lot of things. It's all about giving value, giving really premier education and experiences to people that are interested in getting in to co-hosting, people that are interested in learning more about the business, and people who just want to take a vacation in a really nice place or even a dome. But
yeah, you never know.
You never know. But I'm more of one of those oceanfront type of places. We got a trip to get there.
I like it, my man. Well, thanks so much for having me on, Sam. It's always great hanging out with you, and I know we'll see each other again soon.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us here in the Fly a Focus podcast studios. I'm Sam with Go STR Marketing. Guys, check out Dave. He knows what he's doing. He is a professional in the business, and I highly recommend him and anything he has to do with. So, guys, had a great time today. See you next time. Dave, always a pleasure, man.
Thank you, my man.
Cheers. See ya.